Hey guys, I just want to make a really quick impressions video on a game that I beat a few weeks ago, maybe longer than a month ago, and that game is Sonic Generations for the PlayStation 3. This is a game that I believe Sega released to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the Sonic series, or the Sonic character. And they had a lot of pressure in their back, considering most Sonic fans and major gaming publications have criticized most of the modern Sonic games. So the Sonic team at Sega, they really had their work, or they had a lot of responsibility to bring this game out and celebrate this iconic mascot, because it's not only an important character for Sega, but it's an iconic character for gaming overall. So, and Sega had a lot of pressure, and they delivered to the surprise of a lot of people. And this is a very solid Sonic game. Starting from the graphics are very colorful, very Sonic-like, and their game runs pretty smooth, which makes for a very enjoyable experience. But the part where this game excels is the level design, which some of the modern Sonic games fail to deliver in that field. But this game has an incredible level design in which once you get used to the levels, you can pretty much just go through them really fast. And that's the fun about the Sonic games, mastering the levels and see how fast you can beat them, because that's the fun part about Sonic games. You're just going really fast and avoid getting hit by the enemies. So again, great level design, and the game has a very unique gameplay mechanic in which you can play with the old school Sonic, the chubby Sonic. And when you play his act, it's a 2D side-scrolling platforming section. But on every stage, you can also play as the modern Sonic, and you play on a 3D type of game, platforming gameplay, similar to the Sonic Adventure games on the Sega Dreamcast. So the game has a lot of variation and keeps things fresh, because once you complete one stage with the old school Sonic, you can repeat the same stage with the modern Sonic, but it's a completely different route on the level. It's the same level but a different route and a completely different approach, because they control a little bit different. They have different perks to them. Like the modern Sonic has that homing, rolling attack, for example. So the game is pretty fresh for the most part. With the old school, with the chubby Sonic, some parts are a little bit frustrating because the platforming is not as tight as other games like Rayman or Klonoa or Mario. But it's still very fun game. And the game has I forgot how many stages, but enough to keep you entertained. And like I said, every stage has 2 acts where you play as the old school Sonic or the modern Sonic. But also, after you beat the level, you get these things called challenges, so which are like mini sub-levels that have different objectives. So for instance, some of them might require you to save or free some those Chaos characters throughout the level. So it adds to the experience, and it adds to the replay value of the game, which is really cool. And the soundtrack of this game is really amazing. I'm not the biggest Sonic fan. It's because mainly I grew up playing Nintendo systems back in the day. My parents could not afford to have a second console, so I grew up playing Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. But I always had a lot of respect for the Sonic series, and I remember playing the Sonic games at my friend's house. And some of the soundtrack, they're just memorable. Even if you're not a fan, you can instantly recognize some of the old school tunes in the games, and they did a wonderful job of bringing those and remixing those themes, and just making things fresh for the new generation of players experiencing Sonic. And also, you know, I'm a huge fan of the Sonic Adventure series for the Sega Dreamcast, and some of the levels, like the Cityscape level, they've been redone on fully, I guess, HD, and they look beautiful, and they have, you know, the Cityscape song, and you know, it brought back you know, many memories when I was playing the Dreamcast version of the game. But overall, a great game. If I had to cite a few negative things, I guess, as I mentioned, when you're playing the side-scrolling portions of the game, some of the platforming is not very tight as say a Mario game. So some of the jumping sections where when you're not actually speeding can be a little bit frustrating. Another frustrating thing, and this is really frustrating, is some of the boss fights are just I don't know, they were not the best around. Some of them were extremely frustrating, especially I forgot what boss was it, but just they're not challenging, but they make it frustrating. They're more frustrating than challenging. You know, I don't mind having a challenge on a boss fight because that's what you expect from a boss. You know, you expect the boss to give you a challenge, but some of the bosses in this game are just downright annoying, and it takes a while for you to beat them, and sometimes you either need luck or you have to yeah, you have to pretty much bank on luck, on the timing, pressing some buttons and whatnot. But overall, those are two minor gripes that I have with the game. But overall, I had a great time with this game, and in fact, I think this is my favorite Sonic game so far. Like I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of the series, but you know, I love Sonic Adventure 2. I think that was my favorite Sonic game, but I think after playing Sonic Generations, this is at the top of my list. You know, I also loved Sonic 2 for the Genesis, but again, this game has, you know, things that can keep you you know, for example, the 16-bit fans happy and the modern game Sonic fans happy. So the best of both worlds, two ways to play every stage. So highly recommend this game. It's a very fun platformer. I'm really glad Sega finally made a game to put, you know, Sonic's name out there, and here's hoping that, you know, whatever game they release next has the same level of quality, not only in the graphics department but also on the level design. So yeah, that was my quick impressions video on this game, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.